What if the ancient world wasn't primitive at all? Concrete that hardens in seawater and grows stronger every century. Massive stones aligned with the sky, with precise alignment we only recently understood. A tomb carved into solid rock, with symmetry no chisels should have been able to produce. These aren't myths. They are real, still standing, still unexplained. Were the technological achievements of ancient people far beyond what we assume? In the ancient world, construction was temporary. Structures crumbled, harbors eroded, seawalls collapsed. Water was the enemy of every building material known to man, except one. Around 200 BCE, Roman engineers began mixing a concrete unlike anything before. Volcanic ash, lime, seawater. Three ingredients that together triggered something no one expected. Not decay, growth. Modern concrete fails the moment it touches seawater. Salt penetrates, cracks form, structures weaken. Within decades, they collapse. A Roman harbor built in 13 BCE, still standing. Not crumbling, not eroding, getting stronger. In 2017, researchers from UC Berkeley quietly unsettled the engineering world. Seawater filtering through Roman concrete didn't corrode it. It triggered a chemical reaction. A rare mineral, tobermorite, began crystallizing inside, filling cracks, reinforcing the structure from within. The concrete was healing itself, not by accident, by design. This wasn't guesswork. Romans observed. They experimented. They refined formulas over generations. They knew which volcanic ash bonded perfectly with lime. They understood ratios that made concrete grow stronger over centuries. Even seawater, destructive to modern concrete, became an ally. Romans didn't just construct. They engineered permanence. Vitruvius, Rome's greatest architectural writer, described the ingredients, but not the process, not the temperatures, not the ratios, not the curing methods. As if the knowledge was assumed, passed down not through manuals, but through hands. And when Rome fell, the hands stopped. Modern laboratories have studied this formula for decades. We have the ingredients. We have the analysis. We cannot replicate it, not consistently, not at scale, not with the same result. Aqueducts span landscapes unchanged for 2 millennia. Structures built with such precision, they survived storms, erosion, and human neglect. This wasn't craftsmanship. It was applied science, observation, experimentation, precision, all executed in an era we call primitive. Roman concrete isn't just material. It is evidence. Evidence that the ancient world held secrets of engineering. We are only beginning to glimpse today structures built not for decades, not for centuries, but for eternity. And if they could manipulate chemical reactions, design materials to defy time, what else did they understand that we have forgotten? In the windswept plains of Wiltshire, stones rise from the earth, massive, monolithic, silent witnesses to a time we barely understand. No wheels, no cranes, no modern tools. And yet, they arrived. The largest stones, the sarsens, weigh up to 25 tons each. Quarried at Marlborough Downs, 25 miles away. Across rivers, across hills, across terrain with no roads and no machinery. The smaller stones, the bluestones, tell a more unsettling story. Their source, the Preseli Hills in Wales. Over 150 miles away, across open sea, across mountain ranges. Modern engineers attempted to replicate this journey. They struggled, but transport was only the beginning. Stone pairs were positioned to within a fraction of a degree. And Stonehenge wasn't built once. It was built in phases, over 1,500 years. Generation after generation returning to the same site, adjusting, refining, expanding, as if following a plan no single lifetime could complete. Then researchers began studying something else entirely. Not the stones, the sound. Acoustic engineers tested a full-scale replica of Stonehenge. What they found quietly unsettled them. The stone arrangement created a specific acoustic environment. Echoes amplified. Certain frequencies resonated in ways that shouldn't have been possible. The builders understood how sound behaves around stone. They engineered an acoustic space, thousands of years before the concept existed. And then the alignment. At midsummer sunrise, the sun rises in precise alignment with the heel stone. At midwinter sunset, light enters the monument's central axis directly. Not approximately, not roughly, precisely. This required decades of astronomical observation, without telescopes, without mathematics as we define it, without writing, a calendar, a ceremonial stage, a technological statement etched in stone, built not by people who didn't understand their world, but by people who understood it, in ways we are only beginning to measure. Stonehenge isn't just stones, it is evidence. Evidence that ancient people possessed understanding of astronomy, geometry, and acoustics far beyond what we assume. And if they could orchestrate such precision, move mountains with human hands, what else did they know that we have forgotten? High on the cliffs of modern-day Turkey, a tomb defies both gravity and expectation, carved directly into solid rock. Every line, every column, every proportion, precise, symmetrical, unexplained, built around the 4th century BCE. For Amyntas, a Lycian ruler, the facade rises 60 feet above the ground. A perfect replication of a classical Greek temple. Columns, pediments, sculpted motifs, rendered not in marble blocks, but in the cliff itself. Stone that was never separate, never assembled, always there, waiting to be revealed. Columns taper at mathematically consistent ratios. Joints between carved elements appear constructed rather than carved, as if separate pieces were assembled from a single unbroken mass of rock. Modern stonemasons have studied the surface. What they found quietly unsettled them. The finish on certain sections is smoother than hand tools should produce. Consistent, uniform, but perhaps the most unsettling detail is what isn't there. No correction marks, no abandoned lines, no visible mistakes. A structure this complex, executed in stone that cannot be undone, required understanding the entire design before a single cut was made. A single miscalculation, and the tomb would collapse. It didn't. It endured earthquakes, centuries of weathering. The Lycians left no technical manuals, no engineering documents, no explanation of their tools or methods. Only the cliff, only the columns, only the silence of stone shaped with impossible patience. The Tomb of Amyntas isn't just a resting place, it is evidence. Evidence that ancient people understood geometry, engineering, and spatial planning far beyond what we assume. Built not for the fleeting, not for decades, but for eternity. And if they could manipulate stone with such precision, what other secrets did they master that we are still only beginning to grasp? Different places, different centuries. Same unsettling conclusion. The ancient world wasn't primitive. It was capable of things we are only now beginning to understand. And what we haven't found yet may be the most important discovery of all.